find a guy I want to talk to as much as I talk to Kiera, I'll know he's the one.
That is really sweet. I'm Kiera.
I'm Tyla.
And we're besties. So how me and Tyla met, it's very interesting. There's a lot of lore behind that. Well, one, I saw her on TikTok and I was like, dang, this girl body is crazy. Then I saw her in person at a Pretty Little Thing event, but she didn't know who I was. And it was kind of like that little influencer thing. So we didn't actually speak.
I thought we spoke at the taco truck and I said hi, right?
I don't know. It was just like an influencer type of situation. And I'm like, oh, your hair is pretty. Not a real conversation.
I think we met like when we went, it was an influencer like field trip thing, and we went to this winery and it was like a day-long event, and you know, it was a winery, we were drinking. And I just feel like you saw my crazy self and we really like bonded on that bus.
But at the winery, it was hours to get there. We're on the same party bus, and our bus was crazy, and the bus broke down. So I think you bond over stuff like that, you know? So we got closer because of that.
And a bottle of Casamigos.
Oh yeah, we had a bottle of Casamigos on the bus.
It gets you close.
Yeah, so that's what happened. She lived like 10 minutes down the street from me, and she was like, oh, we should co-work and get coffee. Yeah, and I was 2 hours late to our coffee date, and she didn't leave. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, she really like wants to be friends with me, but it hasn't happened ever again. I will say that.
To that extent.
Ha.
I think a lot of things had to like fall in line for like me not to leave, me not to get upset by that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm normally the late friend, so when dealing with a new friend who's late, I was able to like gain a lot of sympathy for my friends who had to deal with my lateness. I was like, oh, so this is what they be talking about. Yeah. So it was really a point of reflection. But
for me, I'm really anal about time, but people leave
Are
so
you?
late all the time that I stopped being friends with them. So I started being late to save my own feelings, and then I ended up being 2 hours late. So I think it just kind of worked. You know, all the past relationship trauma that we had brought us together. So yeah.
Kiera was always talking about like a 7-day posting challenge, like on her story, like, we need to do 7-day posting challenge. And she was like, who wants to be my accountability partner? So when I found that she was also about that, I was like, okay, there might be something there. And I'd actually gone on a walk and I was just thinking about how lonely influencing can be. And I was like, you know, I work in my room, it's just me and my tripod. And I just wish I had someone to like create content with or edit with. And then she appeared.
Along came Polly. First impressions that made me like, oh, I want to be friends with Tyla. She's very just joyful, very vibrant, and is very energetic. Anyway, not too much. Like, don't tell nobody that. But yeah, so I think that made me really want to be her friend. And then the fact that I was 2 hours late, which honestly is reasonably, if she didn't want to be my friend anymore or not talk to me, that would have been okay. But it was like, you know, really receptive and saying, okay, we could just try again, and then planned to try again, you know? So I think giving me grace, of course, which we all need.
I think my first impressions of Kiera was that she was very open. Like I remember her sharing some like dating stories, and I was like, wow, this girl, she be going through it like me, like this crazy. We're both out here struggling. And I don't know, if I can bond with someone over like some dating woes, it's like, okay, we're locked in, because some people just don't get it, but you get it.
A moment that strengthened our relationship, or my relationship with Tyla, I think one phrase and quote that comes to mind that I always tell her is, our relationship is the embodiment of you haven't met all the people who will love you yet, because I just met her recently last year, and like there's so much love to continuously be found in the world, and I think she just exudes that, and our relationship exudes that. I think one thing that really showed me, okay, we're gonna be friends, is we had a little book club together that my other close friend hosted, and honestly, she did something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Just a tiny bit, just a little bit. Yeah. But when I brought it up, it was a conversation that just naturally flowed. She was receptive to what I said. She was like, oh, I can see how you would say that. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. And like, I've never thought about it again. It doesn't ruminate in the back of my mind. I don't think that she thinks less of me or I think less of her. We were able to handle a conflict in an active way and just move on. And I think that's very rare for children, adults, everybody. People don't know how to do that. And just like, one, take accountability, two, listen. And even me, like in that same situation, I think maybe I thought about it a certain way, and then maybe it didn't have to be that way. So like being receptive to the way she saw it, I think that was a really big thing for me. Like, oh, we're like friends for real because we want to make this relationship work. So I'm able to come to you with a problem and talk to you about it because I love you, not because I want drama. Like that's why I'm bringing it to you.
Whenever like a first conflict happens in any relationship, it's like either you're gonna move away from this or it's gonna make you stronger. And I definitely think that made us stronger. And I was gonna say that too. Yeah, because I feel like that was this like moment of like, okay, there's conflict, there's friction, but I feel like because we're so different and we have like our different perspectives, it's always interesting when we come together because I feel like I learn things. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, like it was just like a learning session because I feel like you brought up things that I am not aware of that I do that like creates negative emotions in other people. And I needed to hear that and like get that feedback. And then you also gave me the opportunity to like dig deep within myself to figure out like, okay, why did this behavior make me react this way? So I feel like our friendship is like really healing in that way because I'm always like thinking like, wait, why am I doing this? Like, where did that come from? And you inspire a lot of that, so.
I appreciate that. Again, about that same situation is when we kind of, had friction, not really. You told me before that it's hard for you to tell people where they have you messed up at. You just stop talking to them. You just ghost them. But instead of ghosting me or not talking to me, I noticed that she would just talk to me and tell me like, and it's so small, like when you are actually actively having conversations, somebody can tell you about yourself in such a lighthearted way that it just meshes and it's not like it's big to do. So I feel like you actually do call me out. And you told me that with other people, you might not necessarily, you just let them flow. But I want my friend to tell me, hey, like that ain't cool, your hair look a little messed up, you being rude, that's nasty, like, you know? And so I think that like that shows growth for both people. Another thing that solidified our relationship, we live in LA, y'all.
I knew it was gonna be this one. I knew it was gonna be this one.
She took me to the airport to LAX.
Oh, it was this one. Oh, wait, I took her to the airport. Yeah.
I had a friend for like 5 years, no, like 14 years, and she didn't take me to the airport one time.
That's
I asked her our whole
crazy.
relationship. And so I didn't even ask her. She was like, well, I'll just take you. And then one time I had another friend coming into town, and you offered, I didn't take it, but you're like, well, I can pick her up if that makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
That is so nice. Do you understand? LAX is expensive to get from. I don't know.
It
Y'all know
is.
these ride shares went from $50 to like $100.
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about that? Can we use this platform for a moment to shed light on inflation?
So yeah, somebody that takes time out of it. I think that's just love, you know. For me, it was like if we liked it, ain't no switching up. Which is what I was talking about.
There's this boy that like you had a thing with, like a little thing with, but you introduced me to him at this event, and like we have similar careers, me and this guy. So we've like developed somewhat of a very minor friendship, but he basically lit his shot.
At you.
Yeah, while also trying
At
to
the
like
same time.
be pursuing you. And then I told you. And I feel like some girls, like even the idea that a guy they're talking to is trying to talk to you, that'll make them like act weird towards you, like you're the problem. And I've had that in the past, so I'm always real nervous to be like, hey, your friend, so-and-so is hitting on me. I'm always nervous, but I'm like, you know what? You gotta just do it. You gotta just tell her, send her the screenshots, let her do what she gonna do. And it was just like, you know, it was met with a forget this man. I'm gonna say something a little more, sassier, but yeah, it was very much like girl power, like forget him, like.
That's actually funny that I always think that would have made us closer, because to me, that's no brainer. I don't care about that man.
Yeah, but some people would. Like, I just
Girl.
remember being nervous. I was like, oh my God, I hope this don't cause no trouble.
I'm cracking up. That's funny.